with this. There's no such thing as racism. You were already told you were gonna leave the lands you were at because you ain't where you supposed to be. For some. What else is there? You were alien anywhere in this earth because you don't belong here. Oh, with that being said, pretty much you can understand what project, not project. They're trying to project something into your inner essence, your being. What we teach when we say you need to learn how to wield the power of God. That's why the title is the way that it is. Let's get it.
We've talked a lot on this show about Project 2025 and its implications for African Americans. Well, the folks at the Philadelphia Tribune, one of the oldest black newspapers in the country, dropped this front page article, and it caught my eye. And I want to be sure for us to actually, no, guys, I need the full front page. I need you to show the full front page. You cut it off, because I need to show the headline and everything. I posted on social media. If y'all can find that, I would appreciate that, because it gives you a better understanding of how they sort of position this article. And we're going to show you that. And joining us right now is the author, Christina Christophic. She is the investigations reporter, editor for the Philadelphia Tribune. Glad to have you here. Christina, again, it was really important in terms of how y'all framed this story. And it really jumped out. And so talk about the conversation y'all had, why you wanted to shine this very specific spotlight on the impact on African Americans in Project 2025.
We saw a lot of, well, first of all, thanks for having us, Roland. And we saw a lot of people talking online about Project 2025. We saw a lot of things that we were like, does it really?
There you go. Big time people say where they got their information from. Not even the rich people look at the big news media.
See that? And, you know, we saw also some things that were clearly misinformation. And we wanted to take a look and see, what is this? What does it really say? And what exactly will it do for this country or not for this country? And we knew as we were going through it that this was going to be a big front page piece.
Every month, this Airbnb pays me about $2,700 in semi-passive income. Now, here's the thing. I don't own it, and I don't pay any rent. Now, here's the thing. You can actually do this, too. It doesn't even matter where you live, even if you're in a boring little town.
Front page piece.
And so, obviously, it's 900 plus pages. And so, what was your narrowing process?
So it started with me reading all 922 pages. I will confess that I sort of skimmed near the end when I got the chapters.
I bet that was fun.
Oh yeah, it was, some real light reading. When I initially volunteered to read it, I said, I can do it in like a week. And then as I got into it, I found things that, like, there were acronyms I had never heard before. There was jargon I had never heard before. There were things that I didn't remember happening the way that the authors said they happened. For example, they blamed the Flint water crisis on Obama. They praise Arizona as an example of a good education system, while Arizona is consistently in the bottom 10 nationally. And so I had to Google and say, wait, is that real? Am I remembering this correctly? But I got through it. Decoded it, and then I spoke with a bunch of Black leaders in and around Philadelphia about what stood out to them in Project 2025. And I gathered all their thoughts and all my thoughts and sat down with my editors, and we agreed to our list of top 10 things that we thought would have the most disparate impact on Black Americans.
And obviously, we've talked about this here. One of the big ones really is the anti-racism focus of Project 2025.
Yeah, they refer to it as, they say they are not trying to eliminate civil rights. They are not trying to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion. They say they are trying to protect the civil rights of all Americans. Sort of all lives matter goes to Washington, if you will.
But what that deals with, though, is it has real implications in terms of ending programs and shifting resources to fight this anti-white racism.
They want to eliminate every staff position in the federal government related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. They want to eliminate every committee, every department, anything within the federal government related to diversity, equity, inclusion, race, gender, reproductive rights. They want it gone. They want to completely rewrite all federal laws, regulations, contracts, everything, to remove all references to race, gender, reproductive health, reproductive rights, sexual orientation, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. They want to completely remove all references from everything, and then they want to use the
which means it is very difficult from a data standpoint to understand racial inequities when it comes to health, when it comes to economics, in so many different areas. And so it's sort of like, oh no, let's just get rid of all of that. And you have no way to track it. You have no way to study it. And so all of a sudden their whole deal is, oh no, everybody's the same. Don't discuss those things.
Right. They want to rewrite Title VII and have the EEOC prohibit public and private workplaces from collecting any data on the race and racial classifications of the employees. They want to use the Department of Justice to enforce all of this. They also want to eliminate the Census Bureau's National Advisory Committee on Racial, Ethnic, and Other Populations. This is a committee that works to try to find cost-effective ways to get people of color to participate in the census. And because traditionally Black and brown people have been undercounted, and they want to try to get people to be counted so that they can be represented properly and funded properly. No, they want that committee gone.
And again, so everybody understands, when we talk about the census, we talk about funding, we're talking billions of dollars that would not be going to African Americans and other minority communities. But this is the full front page, not what we showed earlier. I want people to see the actual full front page so they can understand how y'all wanted the focus to really be on Project 2025. Questions from my audience. I guess I'll go ahead and start with Teresa Lundy. She's there in Philadelphia. Teresa, go ahead.
Well, thank you so much for actually putting this on the front page. I was not only in awe of it, but was very interested and happy that this was the front page. There has been constant conversations happening in Philadelphia about Project 2025. So one of my questions for you is, what really incited you all to do this? Was it just the national approach, or were you hearing it from voices and clergy and community locally?
It was the national angle. It was hearing it from people.
2 + 2 + 5 is 9.
We knew on social media, people we knew, out drinking or at the coffee shop. Also, I wanted to argue with some of my friends about it. So it was a mix of factors. It felt like it was such an important part of the global conversation that we had to participate.
Great.
Kevin.
Christina, thank you so much. You spent countless hours reading 900 or so pages of 900 plus pages of Project 2025, researching, trying to find answers to the questions that you had. But I think what's so dangerous about Project 2025 and part of the strategy behind it is that because it's so long, its authors know that most people will not do any of that. They're not going to read it, much less, try to research it or do any additional work to understand it. I I think that's why it's so important, the work that you've done, and again, a testament to Black journalism, Black media. Roland, again, for you highlighting this issue so often on this show. I guess one question that I have for you, Christina, when I talk about Project 2025 to those around me, even people who might be voting for Kamala Harris, sometimes there's this skepticism that Donald Trump will actually try to or be able to execute or implement the policies that are in Project 2025. Are there strategies, I guess, as a journalist that you've sought to employ, to convince your readers to, I guess, really not underestimate, I guess, the implications of some of the things that you write about, in this case, Project 2025?
So thanks for that question. One of the first things that we address in the article is, the Heritage Foundation produces this document. They call it Mandate for Leadership, and they produce it every presidential election cycle. And Republicans look to this thing every time they take office. And the Heritage Foundation claims that Ronald Reagan enacted 60% of their recommendations before the end of his presidency. And they also claim that Donald Trump enacted 2/3 of their recommendations before the end of his first year in office.
Wow.
And so I think when you say that and when you share that with people, like, that makes it more real. Otherwise it's kind of easy to dismiss it as like, oh, this is some fantasies from the Heritage Foundation, or Donald Trump didn't really write this, it's not his. But he might not have written it, but he definitely used a previous edition as his sort of like playbook for his presidency.
I was skeptical in the beginning too, but I mean, it's real.
It is worth every penny and then some.
This is your shut up check, right?
Right. This absolutely exceeded all expectations.
Thank you.
Well, look, first of all, we have the history. He followed the Federalist Society, everything they wanted to do. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to do whatever Project 2025 lays out, because that's his people. And in fact, at his rally today, who did he have introducing him there? The author of Project 2025, Rebecca.
So my question for you is, so what's next? Are you all going to take, I guess, the research that you've done, are you going to animate it? Are you going to put it into different forms? How do you really inject this into popular culture and digestible pieces for people to really understand what's going on? Because my thought, I'm thinking about like the rollout, like with the 1619 project, even regardless of what happens on November 5th, there still needs to be some type of public awareness, because the idea of some of the things that are in Project 2025, there needs to be public education around it so people understand the need to reject it and what the underlying pinning underneath the type of agenda that would push Project 2025. Do you all have plans to do something along those lines?
We're currently working on some plans. This is part of it, appearing here on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Next week, I'm going to appear in a panel discussion with Omar Sabir from the Philadelphia City Commissioners and 2 college professors to talk about Project 2025 and how it could affect Black Americans. We're also working on some social campaigns around Project 2025 and our report.
How it affect Spirit Chosen. I'm gonna play my song in the end. Just in case they like to play. But let's finish.
Trump played these guys like a fiddle. Oh my goodness. So in order to really embrace the irony and the humor of this story, you have to get some background. Now, when it comes to these groups of people, because there's an outlier within the Black community that we'll consider them Black MAGA. And within that Black MAGA, we have 2 big groups, FBA and ADOS. Now, you don't need to know what they stand for because it's irrelevant. But what you do need to know is their grit, their hustle. And their hustle is reparations. Reparations. Black people owe reparations. We deserve reparations. Hashtag cut the check. Reparations now. And that's all they talk about. That is their number 1 priority, is reparations, reparations, reparations. Now, the problem ensues when you come to find out that these people don't know anything about anything.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
They don't know anything about politics. They don't know anything. They don't have a basic grasp of civics. And you start asking them, how are you going to get reparations? Man, it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. Then you start asking them, well, who's going to pay for reparations? Well, it doesn't matter. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. Okay, you're not the problem. Then you ask them, well, who's going to sign off on reparations? Well, it doesn't matter, okay? You a Democrat shield. You a Democrat shield. That's what you are. They start to break down once you ask them simple questions about the political process of how to make reparations viable. That's why it's nothing more than a grift and a hustle, because they feed black people hope, but they deliver no tangibles. Damn. The big grift in this election cycle was to attack Kamala Harris. I try to make videos, I try to, talk to these simpletons, these dolts, talking about, hey, out of the candidates that are running for president, there's only one candidate who's for reparations. Kamala Harris was for reparations when she was running for president, when she was talking about Al Sharpton asking, hey, you're gonna sign, the reparations bill? She's like, yeah, I'll absolutely sign it. If it comes to my desk, HR 40, I'm signing it. And now, even presently, when she was running for president again, she's talking about, hey, I'm for reparations. She said it in the Root. She said it in a variety of articles talking about, hey, I believe black people are owed some form of reparations. Now, hearing this, guess what the FBA and ADOS crowd were saying? Oh, I don't believe her. I don't believe her, okay? I don't believe her. That's what it had to deal with. So it's like, okay, the number one thing you wanted to go for was reparations. One candidate said they would do it. Now you don't believe her. Then it started to devolve into I don't believe her. And then it came into, well, she wants to sign a bill. We don't need a study. We don't need a study. Once again, showing how intellectually inept they are in the political process. How are you going to get something passed if you don't have anyone who's studying on what redress is needed? Once again, they listen to grifters and hustlers in the community.
He's out of line, but he's right.
This now leads us to Trump, because all of them were all lambasting Kamala Harris. Oh, Kamala Harris, she's not black. All that she's not black, those groups were the main proponents of pushing that narrative. They're the main ones talking about, oh, she's not black, she's not black. Trump said it himself, okay? Trump just saying the truth. She's not black, she's not black. All this, she's not black, she's an Indian, she doesn't claim to be black, oh, she's not for reparations. This all ended when Trump came out and put out a post, right, talking about, hey, Kamala Harris wants to give taxpayer-funded reparations. At that moment in time, all the hustlers and grifters had to switch course. Now, instead of the narrative of reparations, which is, once again, their number one priority, reparations, okay? Foundation on Black America, we need reparations. Now, their message now became, well, the economy, okay? I'm going to vote for Trump because the economy, that's why I'm going to vote for him. It then became absolutely abundantly clear, crystal clear to anyone who had an IQ above room temperature, that these people were nothing more than Republican shills. They were nothing more Republican shills and MAGA shills trying to tank Kamala Harris's campaign. That's all they were. They didn't.
Now, y'all know I don't care. I have one most high leader. But it's funny to see others, good points, but what does it do for the community? Right? So that will force you to go foot on the ground. You have to deal with people. Then you would have backup or testimonial power that you are the real deal. Right? You only have to speak for yourself. So it's good to have knowledge, but it's better to have wisdom. So I'm looking for something. Oh, it's all the way down. Did I play this already?
Folks, we've talked a lot on this show about product twins.
I think I did. We're getting them confused, y'all. Oh, right here.
Oh, you've been recording like this?
All right, folks, joining us right now is Leon Gant and Stephanie Tolbert. Both of them were two of those folks kicked out. Glad to have both of you on the show. First off, Leon and Stephanie, so how many of y'all were actually at the restaurant?
There were 5 of us, Roland. Leon and his wife, Heather, and Kevin Ballinger and his wife, Kendra, and then myself.
And go to the video.
Escorting you out.
I'm just, I mean, again, and let me real. Let me look. I know of some restaurants that are extremely busy, where they have reservations, and they flip those tables. And I know some places, like I say, there are highly successful restaurants that actually do this. But what's crazy to me is for a manager to say this, and you literally have it nowhere posted anywhere, and it seems as if you just sort of made it up. And the other thing is this here. There are date stamps on receipts. When those waiters put orders in, there's a time stamp on it. So y'all are able to show from the moment an order was placed and to when you get your receipt, how long you were there.
Yes. Yes.
What's your plan going forward?
I can tell you this. First of all, it's an honor being on your show. So thank you very much for covering this. What I have done, I reached out to some of the contacts that I had here in Orlando, and they're giving me a list of attorneys that I'm going to contact. I also have some connections into the mayor office, and I know of one.
Well, you know my nephew, what he going through. But it seems to have a lot of cases of this going on.
We deal with these stories all the time. And unfortunately, this is what I always say, it is the reality of what it means to be black in America. Keep us apprised of this case and what happens next. And Carol, my producer, will be sure to forward y'all Rob's email and phone number, the owner, so y'all.
I skipped it. There you go.
And when they do, you're like there for a while. You're like two and a half. Part of this group from Saturday night, the 2 gentlemen in the video in particular, I would like to call them personally to understand what happened and have a cordial, polite conversation to discuss their concerns. Thank you for your consideration. That's what he sent to us. Had y'all heard from him?
Not at all.
Not at all.
What communication have y'all had with, has anyone contacted the owner?
No. The
They said that they canceled the thing, so you don't have to pay for any of that, but they canceled the order, so they wasn't charged for night rate. The thing that y'all are doing is not staying.
And if anything would happen to you, if I were you guys, I would bring it higher to him, call on Monday, or whether it's tomorrow, probably Sunday, he might not have an answer, call Monday and go higher than him. That's what I would do, because they want you to trespass right now, and it's better to honestly leave before it's on paper, then you can't ever come back. Don't know if you ever would. Bro, never come back. But you get what I'm saying. But I would call, ask for like a favor.
Go ahead and trust that. We trust that because I don't want to come back, but I'm going to have that documentation of what they've done.
I see if they want to help me.
Everybody else is ignoring the bill? Does that mean they are? I'm not going to trust that because I want to have it on documentation because I will take this a little bit further than what we're dealing with right here. Everybody else don't have to.
But even if we don't get it on paper, I'll give you the case number. If you guys want to get this pulled, just call it record. So that instead of getting it on paper and all that, because then I go to like city records and they're like throwing higher. You what?
No, I'll take it. I mean, I'll get everybody.
No. I think it's that, I mean, with the mayor's office,
Everything else, there's a lot of volunteer stuff that I do. He doesn't understand the position that I have and what he's done. I will definitely bring this up very quickly. Right. Yeah. He didn't even try to come talk to us. He said, you don't live in false cops. And again, it's weaponized. Like, come on, in this day and age, it truly is weaponized. Like, honestly, that's really good. Have you been recording like 15?
Stop scrolling if your smile is suffering. Have you experienced any dental issues since starting Suboxone?
Really good. Have you been recording like 15?
All right, folks, joining us right now is Leah.
Have you been recording? So, here's the patience of the saints and the wisdom, brothers and sisters. It ain't because you're black. It never was. You have something in you. Figure it out, YouTube. Thanks for coming out on HSE-TV Entertainment. Braka. Oh, I did promise y'all something, did I? I surely did. I promised to let y'all hear the new track. Let me cut that down. Clear down just a little bit. I don't know how loud the music will be. Let's see. Let's see, y'all. I almost forgot. I did. Babylon is about to fall. This one's out for the people. Listen to the song of the sequel. Wise words, stay away from the ego. Evil, trapped in the world, is lethal. Here we go. Living in the world where everybody hates. Laughing in your face, talking about a congratulate. But they won't compensate. Swing you in the coffin, God, everything they say. Look, hold up, wait, I didn't think they like it. Not likely, the character is likely. In the spirit, making delirious. Opposite polarity, they get delirious and curious. It's too fast, I'm furious. But I've been living in the myriad. In the mirror, kid, like a little kid. Looking in the mirror, you don't like what you're seeing, though. Flip the flow, flip the go. Tick a toe, tic-tac-toe, put it in the road, no. Hate me for my skin, nah. You hate the Holy Spirit with them. Choose all the nations when they face him. Never nation, they kinda hate him. This is Parliament, this is Carpet. Back in the day, this is how we got started, man. Where was black and white and white and black? Telling each other to crack, counteract, counter-track. Like, looking like a contradiction. Check a fiction, looking like science fiction. But Babylon is about to blow. I know what you looking for, so it's about to go. I've been listening for the trumpets blow. No, Babylon is about to go. I know what you looking for, so listen for the trumpets blow. What? Babylon blow. Yo, locked in the corner of rap, raising your academy, telling you how to bastards in the anatomy, the metaphysical anatomy, the MK culture inside of me, the anatomy. Got the Holy Spirit, killing it. In the last days, generation hearing it. Influential, by the influence. Hot cat dance on the cat blueprint. They be stupid, loving like a cupid. Like the days of Noah, about the days. Fire, higher, good Lord Messiah. Back in the day with the Lord Messiah. Higher, high priest though. Giving you a full effect with a crack flow. Bring it back, lyricists. Got backwards tempers in my dick while I piss. Piss. A formula with a little twist. Like the Holy Spirit with a little miss, yes? What anatomy? They be all mad at me. Cause I tell you, it's divine spiritual, metaphysical to the physical. I don't see you with the skin tone, postpone. Running back homes. Spiritual, metaphysical, physical with the skin tone. Babylon is about to blow. I don't know what you looking for, so whoa, it's about to go. I've been listening for the trumpets blow. Oh, Babylon is about to go. Don't know what you looking for, so listen for the trumpets blow. What? Babylon blow. Whoa, this for Jamal Jackson, life camera action. We got you in the fractions. Hot walking the truth with no factions. Taking factions with no criminal case. Nothing to face, nothing to hate, nothing to point out. Hey, Orange, Connecticut, police is suspect. We got some debt and some credit. Respect it, we coming for that naked. October 31st, rep it, never outstep it. KKK, Ku Klux Klan, you gon' get no demands, understand? Coming. Braka, y'all.